Hey there, fools. Thanks for joining me for the first episode of the segment called Throwback Tee. In this segment, we'll be traveling back in time, play some retro systems and games. As I mentioned in my last Teeny Bites, I would be revealing my favorite game system of all time, and here it is, fools. The Nintendo 64. Ain't she beautiful? Believe it or not, it was very close between the 64 and the Super NES, but I'll explain why. I ultimately decided on the Nintendo 64 as my favorite. Back in the day, that Sega marketing worked on little Mizzah T. When I saw that Sonic the Hedgehog blazing all across the screen, left, right, upside down, back and forth, and they compared it with that Mario in Super Mario World, slowly jumping around and walking around all slow. I wanted a Sega Genesis, fools. Sega Genesis was my first 16-bit console. I didn't get a Super Nintendo until 1993. Little Mizzah T started noticing something else that year too, called titties. That's right, fools. Mizzah T got very excited about girls and their titties. So, for most of the 16-bit era, Mizzah T was kind of distracted and wasn't gaming as much. Instead of video games, I was playing other kind of games. I was playing games like Hide and Go Get It and Hide the Sausage with many pretty little young ladies. I was a little wild pit bull back in them days. Fools, good times, fools, good times. I got calmed down a little bit by my first steady girlfriend. It was around that time that I got back into gaming, and I had a friend who got very excited about the soon-to-be released Nintendo 64. It was supposed to be coming out in a year, but then it got pushed back. He was always in my ear talking about the Nintendo 64. My good friend Carl. Wherever you at, Carl, I miss you, bro. You was a good friend. Well, anyway, I started getting back into video games. I got myself a Super Nintendo, and he helped me get caught up on the best games that the SNES had to offer. There were a lot of them too. It wasn't long before I just about forgot about my Sega Genesis. My friend Carl was very excited about the Nintendo 64. He was very much into tech, even though I wasn't. He kept talking about specs and how amazing those games was gonna look. It was all about playing in the third dimension. All these movies coming out were all starting to have digital animations with these strange things called polygons. And before long, I got caught up in the hype too. Some of my younger viewers don't realize or understand how amazing it was when games transitioned from 2D to 3D. It was simply awe-inspiring. I'm sorry many of you younger gamers weren't around to experience that. It was like watching Jurassic Park for the first time in theaters. It changed everything. First time I saw Mario's face appear in 3D and speak, it's me, Mario. You know, when I first saw that, I was like, wow, that's amazing. Nothing ever matched that moment for me in gaming again. The only thing that maybe came close was maybe swinging a Wiimote like a bat and hitting the ball out of the park. That was probably the closest thing, but really wasn't even that close. It was that moment that the N64 became my favorite console. The N64, at least to me, was the last game console that was designed to look like a game console and not some wannabe PC tower or DVD player to fit into some bitch-ass entertainment center for insecure vaginas. It knows what it wanted to be, a video game toy, and that's what it looked like, fools. Sleek, curving, and just look at that damn controller. I remember the first time I saw that controller in the magazine, I said to myself, what the is that? But that, fools, is why I loved it so much. It was exciting and unique. Kind of like Mizzah T. Fools. It introduced so many innovations, from the analog stick to the camera buttons to the expansion slot that gave way to the rumble pack. It was just so innovative for its time. Back when being innovative still meant something. It was just a real cool time to be a gamer. Early on, games were slow to release for the 64. I had Super Mario 64, Wave Race, and Pilot Wings for almost a year. 3 games for almost a year. That's crazy, huh, fools? I was very happy with those games, though. Besides, my Super Nintendo kept me busy, too. N64 didn't have a big variety of games, but it had simply the best games of its era. Nintendo and Rare were churning out unmatched masterpiece after masterpiece. Super Mario 64, Star Fox 64, Wave Race, GoldenEye, Banjo-Kazooie, Mario Kart 64, Perfect Dark, Ocarina of Time, and so on and so forth. I wasn't yet into RPGs or strategy games, so I didn't really feel like I was missing a lot. And for my fighting fix, I had a Sega Saturn. I think the main reason N64 is my all-time favorite console is because it's the time I became self-identified as a gamer. I got my first job around the time when it came out, and I had my own money, and I could buy what I wanted. I didn't have to beg Mama T or Grandmama T for a new game. I was a gamer with income, and I could simply go out and buy what I want. I still have all my N64 games. The only system, I still have all the games I bought for it. So along with having the greatest games of all time and the amazing transition from 2D to 3D, the N64 is the era when I first identified myself as a gamer. And for those reasons combined, it's my all-time favorite console. What is your all-time favorite console? Let me know in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Throwback Tee and look forward to future episodes. We're gonna do some playthroughs and talk about the impact of these games in depth. Well, anyway, thank you. And please remember to like, subscribe, comment, and share with other Nintendo fans. And please Join the Facebook community, NFC Nintendo Fight Clubbers, and you can follow me on Twitter if you like. Links below. Thank you for watching, fools. See you next time. Oh yeah, one more thing. Play Nintendo, fools.